Every Ramadan, I raise money for boreholes in the Gambia. Why? Because the Prophet ﷺ said a drink of water is the best charity. Over the years, Spot has built over 215 boreholes, giving water to more than 100,000 people in crucial places like clinics and mosques. Help me make more, link in the description. Assalamu alaikum guys, and welcome to another episode of Smile to Jannah. The US loses $2 billion worth of military equipment in first 4 days of the war on Iran. According to the Iranian news, you can see over here, 100 American Marines were killed in the Dubai attack according to them. But as we know, the Americans and the Israelis are very tight-lipped about their operation. In fact, in Israel, you are not allowed to film and publish. I thought that was the only democracy in the Middle East, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we all know they don't even allow freedom of press in Gaza because according to them, they look after the journalists and we don't want the journalists to be hurt. Even though they have killed the most journalists in modern times. And when you see countries like Spain saying his government's position is no to war, adding that the Spanish people are against this disaster. Then when we're seeing the economic effect, Tehran Times again says Dubai International Airport loses an estimated 1 million for every minute it remains closed. And then we remember Rubio saying, you know what, Israel was going to attack, and you know, if Israel attacks, Iran was going to inevitably attack us. So we had to attack them first. Remember that meme? This fat Israeli over here, if I don't steal it, someone else is going to steal it. Yeah, this was an Israeli settler after a Palestinian lady goes, this is my house. What are you doing? And then Trump doubles down on what Rubio said, because some people are saying, no, that's not really the case. They are all over the place. They don't know what's going on. And they're not giving people a clear answer. But from all of their answers, Iran was not a direct threat to America. The Atomic Agency saying there's no proof of an Iran weapons program. They did it only because of Israel. Apparently Israel calls the shots. So
I think we have great support, and I think if we didn't do it first, they would have done it to Israel. And
you know, when I go to sleep, I always ask, how is Israel? You know, even if my wife is set on fire, I have to ask, and I have to make sure Israel is okay. You know, is Israel being attacked? And then if I'm satisfied that Israel is not being attacked, then, you know, I might put out the fire that is raging on my wife's apron. And what is the media doing? We already know Larry Ellison has taken over CNN, TikTok, CBS. So even the news that you guys are getting, it's from the mouths of the Israelis. This is one of the closest friends of Netanyahu. My God, have you ever seen anyone more colonized than America? This was Fox News. This is hilarious. Who looks out of place over there? That's correct. It's the pink lady.
And Rabbi Chaim Mentz, what do you think comes next in Iran? Will we see regime change?
There's definitely going to be a regime change, but...
Oh, Rabbi knows there's 100% going to be regime change. Rabbi has decided to wake up there, but he's put a but in there.
I gotta say, today, 2,300 years ago?
Oh, no. Don't tell me the studio was promised to him 2,300 years ago.
The entire Iran negative people were wiped out?
The entire Iran? Eh? What sort of weird English gymnastics is he doing there? The entire Iran negative people were wiped out. What?
2,300 years ago?
Huh?
The entire Iran negative people were wiped out?
Doesn't the whole Iran have women, children, farmers, people that are clueless, like high IQ people, low IQ people, warriors, disabled people? How can you say all of them are negative? And what do you mean wiped out? You mean killed? You mean murdered? Is this another biblical reference? Because there are 7 genocides already in the Old Testament.
And therefore we give presents.
You give presents because of genocide. You wiped out a whole group of people, like all of them, women, children, everything, and you give presents. This is national television. These people are, look at Pink. She's confused, mate. What the hell is that? What's in there? Are we negative people as well?
In the name of Purim and everybody of the night crew. Happy Purim.
Look
to
at
you.
this. So they'll be
Yeah, show us. What do you mean? Hey, look at this. What's in there, mate? We want to see. What's he giving? And what about the rest of the guests?
a toast after a genuine one. Sharon, thank you, Rabbi. That's very
What? What did he say?
a genuine one.
Ah, you're gonna get the genuine one. You know, the other negative people, they don't get the genuine one. But you, Rabbi, you're gonna get the genuine one. I'm gonna give this to Pink over there, but it's the thought that counts, you know. So this is a Marine Corps veteran.
Israel is the reason for this war. America does not want to fight this war for Israel. Let's go. Come on, let's go.
Look at that. Oh my God.
America does not want to send its sons and daughters to war for Israel. Your inability to name that shows your exemptness as leaders. This is wrong. And nobody wants to fight for Israel.
Oh my God, look at that. That's shameful. God, it's like he's just committed a T attack and they're apprehending him because he's gonna gun down loads more. This guy's just speaking. It's the land of the free, home of the brave. He's brave and apparently he's supposed to be free. And it's his land. Why is he being treated like this? What the hell is that policeman doing? What the? Where's that leg going? What the flip? This guy is very opportunistic, mate.
Commandant, please stand up as a Marine and stand up for America.
Keep an eye on that hand. Keep an eye on that hand.
No one wants to fight for Israel.
Senator Sheehy. I think he got like a donation of 600,000 by the Israeli lobby. People are saying they broke his hand.
Sir, thank you for your service.
Senator broke his hand. The senator broke his hand.
Guys, what the hell is this? What's Israel doing to America? How are people okay with this? I'm not sure if it was this guy, or if it's a different guy. Listen.
Hey guys, I'm here in D.C. trying to speak out against the Senate and ask them why they're going to send our men and women to harm's way when our elected officials said that there would be no world war.
Yeah, Trump was an anti-war president. I'll tell you why. Listen to this, yeah? This was Tyler Oliveira, yeah?
Less than 24 hours. That's how long it took for Patreon to delete my account after I uploaded a video titled, I Exposed New Jersey's Jewish Invasion. Over the last few years, I've made videos critical of countless groups. Somalis in Minneapolis.
Somalis?
Haitians in Springfield,
Haitians.
Ohio. Corrupt Christian megachurches.
Christians.
Pakistani Muslim rape
Pakistani Muslims.
gangs in England, Indians throwing cow poop at each other,
Hindus.
drug addicts, pimps, prostitutes, gangsters, everyone. And not a single platform blinked. But the moment I made a video about Hasidic Jews using welfare to support families of up to 8 to 10 kids, my sponsors pulled out. In fact, old sponsors called me and said, hey, you need
Sponsors pulled out. His old sponsors said, yeah, we don't want to be associated with you. Like, delete the portion that we sponsored you back in the days in the other videos. So now what they're trying to do from this is they're trying to turn it into some sort of religious thing. Yeah? Look at this. US troops told that Iran war is God's plan. Which God? It's the God of the Bible, apparently. I thought when we're having discussions, you tell us which Christian country has done X, which Christian community's done X. Well, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. They're being told it's God's plan to trigger Armageddon, the day of judgment. Military commanders framed the US strikes on Iran as part of a biblical policy, invoking the book of Revelation, part of the New Testament, not the old one. It's the new covenant, Jesus' covenant, and describing Trump as divinely anointed, according to Military Religious Freedom Foundation. That's not all. Let's have a listen.
The United States and Israel are ironclad partners. We need them in the Middle East. We need them to be strong. We have a biblical responsibility to them as well as an allied responsibility.
He was Senator Kevin Kramer. Biblical responsibility. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. The biblical responsibility to ensure Israel continues its genocide and takes over the Middle East according to the Greater Israel Plan. Look how many Muslim countries it involves. Even if you're looking at the Israel flag, there are two blue lines from the Nile, that's the top line, to the Euphrates. But you didn't know that, did you? And look, even their soldiers wear that badge. Why do the soldiers wear a badge that is depicting Greater Israel? But apparently you have a biblical responsibility and you can't question them. This is US Senator Lindsey Graham.
This is a religious war.
This is another guy saying it's a religious war. Let's listen to this guy, Mike Johnson.
We're the great Satan in their analogy and their misguided religion, and there was no way to appease them.
Misguided religion. So we're going to bomb you because your religion is misguided. By the way, we believe a human being is God, but then again, he's not God. He's part of a trinity, that's three, but yet he's one. So he was God and not, he was fully God and fully man. He died. Yes, God died, but he died in human form. But we don't believe God has forms. Don't say that. I'm not a heretic, you see. We believe in the Bible. Yes, the Bible comes from God, but not exactly from God. It's divinely inspired from God, which means it does come from God, but people wrote it. Yes, they made mistakes. It's not really mistakes. Stop asking me, you Muslim, before I bomb you as well. Then we see over here, this is the ADL, Israel lobby, saying today is Purim. Okay, religious Judaism festival, a holiday which we celebrate the thwarted plan to annihilate the Jewish people of Persia, a modern day Iran, and the courage of those who stood up against hatred. This year, the Purim story feels ever closer. The former Iranian regime's leader, a man who openly called for the destruction of the Israeli state and the death of Jews, is a stark reminder of how the themes of this holiday echo into the present day. Yeah, there we wiped out the whole of Iran. Today it echoes. What's the echo over here? Can you tell us? The fact that you want to wipe them out? The fact that you're killing girls in a school and bombing hospitals over there? You need to watch the previous videos, guys, if you don't know what I'm talking about. And this guy over here, the US Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, he's got the word kafir tattooed on his arm. That's their Secretary of War. He's got his arms up over here. Let's zoom in. Kaf, Alif, Fa, Ra. Kafir. Kafir. Someone who proudly is tattooing such nonsense. And over here, he's talking about the miracle of reconstructing the third temple of Solomon. And that can only be done if you destroy Al-Aqsa. And what did another rabbi say? Oh boy, there's a lot of these rabbis coming out of the woodwork.
If it was up to me, I would pretend that one missile came from Iran and shoot it down.
Shoot it down into the Dome of the Rock in Al-Aqsa. Destroy what's on.
If it was me, I would attack the other countries and blame it on Iran. In fact, the mere fact that there are certain targets being hit in the Middle East, that Iran is saying it was not us. In fact, the UK base that was hit in Cyprus, they've now admitted, the UK has admitted it was not Iranian. Two guesses about who that could be. My money's on
what the Israelis call the Temple Mount and blame the Iranians. Is it beyond imagination that in the fog of war, maybe one of those missiles hits the Dome of the Rock?
Drone that struck UK base in Cyprus, not fired from Iran, says Ministry of Defense. And somebody said Zionists bombed the King David Hotel disguised as Arabs and workmen. They killed 28 British people. You think they won't do it again? This expedition that they're doing, they've dropped the most amount of bombs that they've ever dropped. They are giving everything to this because they know the growing amount of anti-Israel sentiment. Trump is their last opportunity, and frankly, they're going to give it everything to get what they want from this escapade. And what is Iran going to do? Well, the Strait of Hormuz, where 20% of the globe's oil goes through, they've shut it now. And 90% of Middle Eastern food goes through there as well. So they are slowly choking them, because for them, the leverage is going to be the Middle East. Because let's be honest, Dubai, that's got a very close relationship with Israel and is 90% foreign. So they can't deal with foreign attacks and they're not used to warfare. So countries that rely on tourism, if their finances are being choked, if their economy is being choked, they're not going to be able to survive very long. So it's an interesting strategy utilizing the Middle East. In fact, I think they used a drone to bomb a gas plant in Qatar. Because of that, Qatar shut off its gas, which supplies 20% of the world's gas, to such a degree that you have panic buying of oil in the UK, and loads of people are anticipating that this is going to have a run-on effect on the rest of the world. If they start drone bombing oil facilities, gas facilities in the Middle East, it's going to affect the whole world. So it's going to be really interesting what strategy is employed by Iran, what strategy is now employed by the Middle East, because it's within their national interests for this not to go on, because the Strait of Hormuz is very important for them. They are housing all of these military bases and America is not helping them against Iran, and they are not as prepared for this. On top of that, you've killed their main leader, Khomeini, and these people are pissed. The only way America is trying to mobilize its people is by telling them it's a religious war, when in reality the Americans are disenfranchised. They're tired of fighting and defending Israel. You can bring on the Bible as much as you want, but let's face it, a lot of Americans are not practicing Christians. They don't care. In fact, Trump himself says,
I'm never going to make it to heaven. I just don't think I qualify.
And on top of that, you've got all these oil facilities, gas facilities in the Middle East that all you need is a drone. Water salination plants, because the Middle East relies on these, and you knock them out, then that's it, water. So the Middle East is there as a sitting duck. And I showed you the clip last time. You've got Arab commentators saying America is not caring about the military bases and what's happening to us. They care more about Israel. So the global view on how America is seen and how its military bases are seen is shifting, because that's the way America keeps its control worldwide. If people start thinking that American bases are a liability, that America actually can't protect us, then, you know what I mean, it's going to be problematic for them. And now on top of that, Russia is getting the sloppy seconds. Like the people are struggling with oil, they're making more profit out of that now. Look at that. Debating about Russian gas and Russian oil is good for China as well, because they're able to use their strategies and they're able to know the weaknesses of the West also. So any angle that you're looking at it, it's not looking good for the West. And don't forget the Millennium 2002 challenge, in which America did a war game in which Iran actually won because of asymmetric warfare, i.e. using unconventional methods when you have a country that's smaller and weaker than the other country. Here you've got America massive and Iran small. Ladies and gentlemen, let's keep it locked and loaded, because you know these are some good analyses. Let's leave it there. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.